The morning arrives on bandaged feet, counting us softly, as if not to wake grief. Every step writes a wet signature in this ledger where courage pays in silence. Direction survives like a rumor, stubborn against winds that prefer us lost. We carry thunder in wooden bones, praying the hills accept our passage kindly. Strategy is a net we weave for fate, pretending storms respect rope and knots. Pain speaks the oldest language, and our hands reply with unsteady grammar. We build small churches from found things, kneeling where tenderness still remembers us. Weight teaches devotion better than prayer, and we worship with our shoulders. The horizon writes in fire, and we read aloud with clenched teeth. Names keep their own rhythm, refusing to stop even when mouths do. Hunger is a choir master here, and spoons keep imperfect time with mercy. The world narrows to a circle where danger knocks using our heartbeat. Goodbyes dissolve before they finish, yet the heart understands every blurred syllable. The mountain refuses conversation, answering every question with shaking. Faith adapts its tools, borrowing copper paths when heaven feels far. We share the weight of consequence, pretending speed can outpace doubt. Time faints during bombardment, then wakes later, pretending nothing changed. Ritual learns to whisper here, so sorrow can stay dignified inside thunder. Humor sneaks into steel, proof that fear cannot lock every door. The landscape grows anatomy under us, and we pulse along its veins. Healing is a stubborn craft, sewing daylight back into torn hours. Colors argue against the weather, insisting message matters more than comfort. Choosing not to kill becomes its own medal, unpinned but heavy. Even beasts voice our worrying, then carry it without complaint into fog. We pass light mouth to mouth, a contraband ceremony of fragile defiance. The ground keeps secrets in iron, and we negotiate with careful fingers. Love survives in small rectangles, brighter than any flare we fire. The sky interrogates us endlessly, demanding answers we do not own. Orders arrive like thin bridges. We cross them because falling costs more. Order becomes a lullaby for panic, soothing it to half-sleep. Arguments in fire resolve nothing, yet they continue until everyone agrees to ache. We follow fractures toward home, though plaster never truly arrives anywhere. Pain shrinks when named aloud, even if it refuses to leave. Houses remember voices, and the wind rehearses them imperfectly. Mercy printed on paper feels lighter than fear, yet heavier than pride. We invent new stars underground, teaching darkness how to listen. Our tools become altars, collecting weather while we collect ourselves. Some duties scorch the bearer first, scorching again the place called forgiveness. The forest attempts celebration, confused about the occasion, adamant about tenderness. Hope scribbles in margin stubbornly, refusing to respect despair's formatting. Authority grows human at midnight, when lines blur into families and prayers. Distance edits our story, cutting out the parts we cannot bear. Rations divide without anger when hunger speaks in plural. After thunder, the quiet accuses us of hearing too little. Across the wire, thirst abolishes borders more quickly than treaties. Music sneaks past centuries' grief posts and sits beside us uninvited. Compassion drills like soldiers, learning cadence that keeps sorrow moving. Sometimes the mercy we choose returns later as the life we keep. Repairing cloth feels like rehearsal for stories we hope to mend. Even metal learns breathing, calling the dark to enter politely. Superstition grows where arithmetic fails, blessing what math cannot comfort. Connectivity becomes mercy, proof that somewhere a voice waits and afraid. The earth exhales its ache, reminding us pain also loves clarity. Composure is armor woven in mirrors when steel sits beyond reach. Memory is a map that forgives our poor drawing of streets. Mountains keep the score impartially, scoring every side with equal thunder. Survival drafts a truce quicker than diplomats dare, signed by breath. Innocence rings bravely under ash, announcing it still belongs here. Peace arrives as litter at first, until someone stoops and reads. Fire writes a brutal sentence, but life whispers the possibility of edits. Unmaking violence is strangely delicate, like removing splinters from thunder. We practice forgiveness with timber, teaching emptiness how to carry us. Language retires when touch negotiates, meaning travels faster skin to skin. Hope holds light hostage, demanding release terms written in gentleness. Command surrenders its thunder to furniture, rehearsing the noises of peace. We build a small monument to restraint, trusting the sky to approve. Paper becomes a bridge home, and ink finally learns kindness. Respect outlives banners easily, bowing with the same tired spine. Music remembers how to be brave, teaching our feet the pattern again. Love polishes itself stubbornly, refusing the stain of necessary sorrow. Departure tastes like relief and rest, a flavor we pretend is victory. Preparation retires quietly, grateful to become unnecessary again. Life begins with small courage, a whisper that insists on roots. Commerce of ordinary joys reopens, and prices favor laughter over grief. Time re-enrolls the children, promising to keep the lesson gentle. Shelter is a hymn with timber verses and faithful chorus. Nature edits our scars with seasons, footnote by forgiving footnote. Joy relearns its instrument quickly when fear leaves the room. Honor chooses quieter neighbors now, content to shine in darkness. We cross the water gentler, promising not to ask too much. Hunger becomes celebration, and every spoon is an invitation. Boundaries return as kindness, teaching roots which way is home. History warms future nights, sewn from the fabric of former orders. Cooperation speaks fluent timber, easing grammar mistakes with nails. Their faces supervise our rebuilding, generous with silence, stern with memory. Weather chooses healing now, and we politely follow its example. I recognize myself slowly, as if my reflection were a survivor too. We archive the unbearable carefully, promising to read it only when kind. The sky resumes its governance, and we vote yes by sleeping. Growth becomes our calendar, and pencil lines replace tally marks. Freedom flutters wildly at first, then finds the open air graciously. Paths forgive our earlier caution, inviting wheels where boots once tiptoed. Beauty borrows humble hardware, pleased to be practical and bright. We tidied the echoes of violence, letting them ring one last time. The horizon edits our fears, replacing them with patient colors. Tools of endings volunteer for beginnings, learning gentler work quickly. Trust returns splinter by splinter, harder won and better held. Leaving feels like opening lungs, heavy with names we promised to keep. We teach the past softly, so tomorrow will not learn cruelty from us. We carry the war like porcelain, careful and honest, so peace may drink.